It started with a step followed by a trot. We learned to gallop. Then it got mechanical. At first it was to survive. It was all about the destination, but that changed when the journey started to get fun. I'm Julian Taylor, and these are my friends, Sam and Jen. If it has a motor, we will ride it, drive it, or fly it, and compete to win. It's not always about where you go, it's how you get there. It's not where you go, it's how you get there.
So, Sam, we are here in Boyle County in Kentucky, and we're going to drive some tractors and some trucks.
What kind of trucks are we talking about?
Big trucks, you know, half-ton trucks. F-150, Toyota Tundra.
Japanese and American?
Yeah, Japanese and American. And everybody knows the F-150 is made right here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I've always heard that the technology on the Tundra is really quite smart. It's a forward-thinking vehicle.
You know I'm a big fan of the Japanese. Jet skis to motorcycles to off-road vehicles. But when it gets into big, heavy-duty trucks, I think the American brands really have the upper hand.
I think what we should do is actually genuinely test A against B and see what we think. If you drive that one, I'll drive this one, then swap over and we'll get a good, clear picture.
That's a good idea. I'm up for that.
So we're in Kentucky, so I brought some clothes to go with you. Like cowboy clothes, because we're in cowboy country.
Are we in cowboy land or farmland?
Well, it's cows and boys, so cowboy land. I bought you a nice hat.
What am I going to do with that?
You're going to wear it. I bought you a
hat.
really cool shirt, because I know you like red. And then I bought myself another one of those hats as well. I bought myself a dingly-dangly thing for around my neck. And I bought myself a shirt, too. You look great, mate. Perfect.
Not bad for a Miami boy.
Exactly. And I went to a Western wear shop where I got this stuff from, so it must be from this neck of the woods.
They probably saw you coming in.
Yeah, actually, this wasn't cheap, 37 bucks.
Before you jump in your F-150, I know the way you are, you need to have a clean truck, so I did you a favor and brought you what you love the best.
The Opticoat Power Clean, my favorite, because I could just spray it on and it takes all the muck off.
Wipe it off.
Oh, what a partner you are. Love it.
So where to from here?
We're going to the Gilbert Farm and we're going to drive some tractors.
Okay, well, get this thing wrapped up, get it clean.
Yeah.
Let's get over there.
Say that.
Missed a spot right there. There you go.
Our journey is taking us down the scenic and rustic roads of Kentucky and into Indiana. We will start in Boyle County and make our way down Danville Bypass until we reach Highway 555. Highway 555 will lead us down a road of beautiful Kentucky landscapes dotted with cattle farms. And finally, we will reach US 62 West, which we will take before eventually reaching Little Mount Road, which ultimately leads to our final destination, the Falls of the Ohio State Park.
What do you think of your hat then, Sam? Does it make you look all pretty?
I've got my hat on now, I'm ready.
Does yours fit your head?
It actually is big on my head, so it just sags right over. It's actually perfect.
Mine's a bit on the big side. I think I've got to put some toilet roll in it to hold it, stop it moving everywhere.
Hey, how far away are we? I thought you said this place was close.
Yeah, I don't think it's too far away. I think we're about a mile or so to go on the GPS, but we are in the middle of nowhere, the good Kentucky countryside. I'm used to the cattle because that's what my old man had as a farm. He had 160 acres as a kid, so I'm totally used to the Aberdeen Angus. They were the best out. Taste gorgeous, too. I think we're getting relatively close to the farm now.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to this farm. It's something I'm not very used to, so I've got a lot of questions about what they do there.
So, Japanese technology, man. How are you doing in that Tundra?
Well, you know I'm a Japanese guy when it comes to motorized vehicles, but I'm not so sure when it comes to trucks. I'm still trying to figure that part out. The good news is you got a heavy-duty truck. Probably even you can't damage that one.
I don't know. I can damage anything.
Yeah, you got a good point there. So here we are driving along, just trying to get to our destination. You know, I'm talking to Julian on the walkie-talkies, making sure everything's going good and, you know, looking at the scenery. And I think he went the wrong direction this time. Oh, Jesus. Julian, you okay?
Oh. Oh, the bloody hat right away down my face. All of a sudden I look up and I'm through a fence.
Look at the truck, you totaled it.
And this poxy stupid hat. Don't know what I got that hat for anyway.
Well, it's supposed to be on your head. You're not modeling it while you're driving.
Well, I was just trying to see where I was going and it fell down and all of a sudden, bang, there I am in a bit of a field.
How many times did I tell you when I was driving behind you? I saw you swerving all over the place. And I was supposed to drive this thing next.
Well, you're not going to be going very far in this, mate.
Well, you're not driving the other one, because look what you did to this one.
And I look good in that hat. I should have been focused on the size more than just the hat itself.
You're not a cowboy, and there's no horses for you to ride. You have to take this serious. I mean, you totaled this truck and some guy's fence. How are we going to explain this?
I came over a hill, I got this stupid hat, and all of a sudden it fell right the way down over my face, and it seemed to get caught on the back of the headrest. I look up and I'm in a fence.
It was his great idea to buy these shirts and these cowboy hats, and his hat fell over his face and blocked his vision for a quick second. He went to adjust it, and here we are. I know if that was my property that just got damaged, I'd be pretty steamed up. Oh, God.
Gentlemen, we've been expecting you, but I didn't expect you to make this type of entrance.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
So this is your farm that I just crashed into?
This is my farm. You should have used the gate down here a little ways.
Shut up. My
50
apologies.
more yards and we could have made it into the front entrance?
I was wearing one of those stupid hats like he's got on his head. I apologize.
We don't wear hats like that in Kentucky, I hate to tell you.
I told you, it's a cowboy hat. Why'd you buy these things?
Because there's cows over there and you're a bloke. I think my truck's totaled, but I reckon I can fix your fence easy enough with some hammer and nails and just put it back together.
A little super glue?
Yeah.
I've got a man we need to call, my insurance agent, and he can make all this go away.
What, even the fence and stuff?
Yes, it'll all be covered.
Can I still go play on the tractors while he's doing a little paperwork?
We can all go still, gentlemen. Don't let this ruin our day.
It's gonna take ages to fix this.
I don't think so.
No, why?
My Kentucky Farm Bureau agent will have it fixed in no time flat. Let me make a call and we'll get this taken care of.
While he's doing that, let's look how bad this damage really is. Mr. Gilbert ended up being a really, really nice guy. He took it pretty well, I think. You know, we're 50 yards away from the entrance. We almost had it. This is my property and my house, and you come barreling in that way, it wouldn't be pretty.
I knew I was getting close to the farm because my GPS was telling me I was getting close to the farm, but I didn't think I was that close that if I'm gonna drive through a bloke's fence, I'm driving through my farmer's fence. And anyway, I've looked at this. He's got one in and one out. And now you could just follow that road all the way to the big farmhouse and you make a nice big circle. So this really isn't my first offense. The last time I ended up fixing the fence myself. That was because my old man was tight. He wouldn't pay for anybody else to do it, but I did fix it myself. And I did a really good job. I have to say I was really relieved when Mr. Gilbert turned up. He was wonderfully calm. He's like, it's a fence. You're all right. It's a truck. And I've got Kentucky Farm Bureau insurance. And we might get to play with tractors today now.
Yes, we've had people make grand entrances like this before. More often than we like, to be honest with you. Kentucky Farm Bureau will be helping with the repairs. They're excellent to work with. They'll take care of everything. Hey, here's the guy right now that's going to make this problem go away.
Hey, Mr.
George.
Gilbert. How are you, buddy?
Glad to see you there.
Sam,
Julian
nice to meet
here
you.
is the one that owns
Julian,
the
hey,
truck
Julian Taylor.
that ran through the fence there.
You ran through his fence?
Julian.
Yes.
Are you okay? That's the main thing.
I am fine. Thank you for asking. You're the only one that's asked out of this whole bunch of grumpy
Well,
buggers.
maybe not his ego. His ego's not okay, but he's okay.
I wasn't texting. I promise that.
Okay, let's tell the real story. He was playing with his cowboy hat. His cowboy hat got in his way. He couldn't see where he was going and crashed through the fence.
Well, that's a big hat. We don't have many people wearing those hats around here.
You bought this hat. You
can
bought
have
me
it.
this hat.
We'll see what we can do about getting you a hat. I am glad that you're going to try to drive a little more carefully. I'm very glad that you weren't hurt.
I reckon with hammer and nails, I can fix this up, no problems.
Well, if you don't mind, let's see if we can get this done properly. And also, we're going to need to make sure we get your car taken care of, get it pulled out of here, and probably need to get a police report. We can take care of this, Kentucky Farm Bureau. This is what we do on a pretty regular basis. Let us take care of this so you guys can get back to driving tractors, doing whatever it is that you come to this beautiful state to do.
See,
So
really
let us
is
take
my
care of it.
superhero.
Well, Mr. Gilbert, do you have like a big open field, maybe no fences involved, where you can put him there and then let me go do my thing?
I think I can work something out to where we can all go play with the tractors.
Let's go play with
Okay,
tractors.
cool.
Then. What happens for dinner later on?
Yes.
Oh,
George,
yeah.
can you make it?
Let me take care of the fence first, but yes, I'll be there. Thank
All
you.
right.
Can we come too?
As long as you promise to come through the front door instead of through the fence.
You cooking or your missus?
No, the missus is. Then we've got to have it edible. But let's go play with those tractors first. Thank you, George.
Appreciate
Thank you for your help.
I'll get right on this.
Uh-huh.
I don't recall anybody reporting a wreck where they were adjusting their cowboy hat. I'm sure it's happened, but distracted driving does cause a lot of accidents. So again, the main thing is nobody was hurt. We can take care of all the damages. We're going to go ahead and contact the person that Mr. Gilbert uses to repair his fence to work on things. And also I'm going to try to help Julian and his team out today and maybe get them a rental and get them on the road.
Kentucky Farm Bureau has insured lots of the farms. One call and they're out here to help you. Farmers got enough problems just worrying about the weather, and you sure don't need to have to pay for the accidents too. Today was supposed to be fun on the tractors, but I've got another idea. Let's try to put the boys to work. Boys, I want to officially welcome you all to the Rhodesia Farm. We'll go back there and try out these brand new John Deere tractors.
Brand new?
Brand new.
Deers?
Yes.
You're going to trust
yes.
him on a brand new tractor?
We're going to take a chance on it. First, I want to take you for a little tour of the farm to show you how we make a living. By the way, I want to get you out of that cowboy hat. I want to give you all each
Oh,
a
real
Gilbert Farm hat.
Now I can see where I'm going when I'm driving.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
right. No
Easier.
more accidents. Not into my fence anyway. Let's get in this truck here, and we'll head on back there. The Rhodesia Farm, it's a cattle farm. Me and and my wife purchased it about 6 years ago. It consists of 410 acres. We background cattle. We take a calf from its mother, try to put 200 pounds on them, something like that. As you can see, these cattle over here, they're eating grass. We sell beef through the grass. That's how we make a living. These calves are about a year old. We are growing frame on these calves, not necessarily putting a lot of weight on them. These calves will be gaining 1.5 pounds to 1.75 pounds a day.
So what are you doing to this for what they like?
This is clover. This is white clover that you see mixed in. The grass over here, that's Kentucky 31 fescue right here. And as you can see, he prefers the clover, because the clover is eat down lower. That clover will make them grow faster than any of the other grass. We seed this just like it is.
Mr. Gilbert's farm was very interesting to somebody like me. I'm a city boy, I'm not used to this, so I had a lot of questions, and he was very informative. It's a well-oiled machine. They have to do things a certain way at a certain time, and that's the only way to be successful in doing this business.
Yeah, I was raised on a farm. I have to say, this one is very, very impressive. His economical numbers that go with it, they get 3 months out of the year off, and it's a family farm. They don't put it out to co-op. They're buying farms every other year, and they're getting close to 1 million acres.
All right, fellas, we've seen everything here. Let's get on up here and get to these tractors.
Okay.
And let's get to work.
What?
Work? My whole point is coming out here, jumping in tractors, playing around, but I have a feeling he's gonna do something to us to pay back for what we did here. Guaranteed.
So I got 2 things to get on with here. One, I still want to play with tractors. What I'm worried about, though, is it might not be fun anymore. And secondly, I'm still palming this truck off on Sam. I want the Tundra to go home in.
Okay, gentlemen, it's time to get some work done.
What?
Yeah, what do you mean work?
I thought we were just going to play with tractors.
You was the one that ran through the fence this morning?
Yeah, I was,
You've
but-
got to pay it back.
You said it right. You were the one that ran through the fence, so you have to pay it back.
Well, you can help him.
Why did I get suckered into your problems? This is your mess. You've got to fix it.
If we did it twice together, it would be a lot quicker.
I think that's a good idea. Let's make a competition out of it, gentlemen. One of you is going to be on one side of this field, one will be mowing on the other. And we're going to see which one can mow it the quickest, the one that wins the contest. We'll go to dinner.
Winner gets dinner. And
What does the other one get?
Loser watches.
Watches
gets
the other one
leftovers.
eat.
Loser gets leftovers. Whatever's left is going to be yours.
So he'll
Come
be
on.
sitting in a little kiddie's chair next to the main table.
How long does it actually take to cut a field this big?
Probably 20 minutes for me.
2 days for us. I'm really hungry, so can I get the fastest tractor?
You better have George on speed dial, because you see where he's going with this already?
Can we get on with it?
No, we've got to have a lesson first. I seen what you done to my fence. We've got to have a lesson. Come on, let me show you a few things about running a tractor.
It came down to us actually working. We had to mow the yard with a tractor.
It's got to be in neutral.
Clutch in.
Yep, clutch in. Go ahead and turn your key.
These tractors are like luxury vehicles inside. They're fully air conditioned. They've got air ride seats. The only thing I was missing was a stereo system in there, but it had so many knobs and gadgets. They may have had a stereo system, I just didn't even know it.
Hey, how are you passing me already? What'd you do?
I don't know, I just got the faster tractor. I always said I was going to have the faster tractor.
You're cheating already.
They're all automatic now. You've got about 12 forward gears. You've got about 4 backward gears on it. You've got everything. You've got the buckets on them to work and dig in the soil, and you've got all kinds of hydraulics out the back to operate these mowers. Each wing and everything has its own hydraulic. They're a big upgrade from what we used to use 20 years ago.
One thing that I know Julian wasn't paying attention to, when they said leave 6 foot from that tire out because of the fact that the overlay of your mower is going to get it, you're cutting on so much time of going back and forth if you're occupying the extra 6 this way and the extra 6 this way. I was maximizing my cut every single time. I think Julian was just going out for a joyride, not even paying attention to the sides.
Do you know how therapeutic it is to cut the grass? It's just you're in your own little world. It's fantastic.
I listened to what they said, I looked at what I needed to learn, and I followed instructions, and that's why I won.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Look at him all the way over there.
Oh, yeah, he's not near done. He won the competition, so me and him's going to eat first. Julian ain't going to be happy. I know him. He'll cry like a baby, I would think.
I got out my tractor and everybody had buggered off. That was the first thing I knew there was a sign of something going on, some cheating somewhere. But that was my comeuppance. Hindsight's 2020. I would have gone up to 5 miles an hour, gone the next gear and gone one up even more, and brought the blades down, and turned them up a bit. There was loads more I could have done and gone faster.
They surprised me. I didn't think 2 city boys could do that well. My field is mowed off, looks good, so it saved us some work. I'm tickled to have the help.
You think Julian's still out there cutting the grass?
Possibly.
Is it going to run out of gas?
No, that thing's full. He'll be there all
So he can
night.
go till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Honestly?
Oh, here we go.
You leave me for 5 minutes, everybody comes and starts eating?
It wasn't 5 minutes.
You only had 3 lines of grass to cut. I had 30.
Are you kidding me?
Join us, join us.
Can I
Sit
come
down.
and join
Yes,
you?
you can. You did an excellent job.
It was a lot of fun, I have to say.
Yes, yes.
And I want to thank you and your family. Your hospitality has been absolutely unbelievable today. I felt really terrible from this morning when I met him for the first time, and he's such a big bloke. He could have really had me, but he didn't. He was nice as anything. And the insurance company now are going to sort out that whole issue that we've got with the fence. So I want to thank you for being my superhero. You absolutely saved my bacon today.
No problem, Julian. We were very glad that Kentucky Farm Bureau was able to help you out. Matter of fact, Mr. Gilbert and I were talking, and we got you a rental, another F-150, but this time, if you wreck it, it's on you.
I will take that. Thank you. That's my F-150 now.
We did have a deal,
Yes,
and that was
yes, we
before
did.
I put the other one through the fence. So I'll take the Tundra, you take that, and then let's talk about it later on and see what we think on these two machines. So normally we'd be rushing straight off to our next adventure, but we've got a little bit of time. So where would you recommend we go?
Oh, I think you should go to the Falls of Ohio. It's a beautiful place. It's on the Indiana-Kentucky border.
Right.
Won't take you but hour and a half to get there.
Okay.
And it's well worth your time.
George, you have a lot of clients in that area?
We insure everybody from Pikeville to Paducah, one end of the state to the other.
Start making some phone calls and just pre-warn them Julian's coming to town.
Please, my friend, be extra careful.
There's no respite for the wicked here, I tell you. I'm going to be here for this for weeks. So can I get stuck in?
I know you guys are a little confused. What he's asking is, can he start eating?
Oh,
My dinner.
Yeah, please
Certainly.
Thank you. That's an old English saying. Can I get stuck in? That's what it means.
Okay.
Getting stuck into your dinner. So Mr. Gilbert was really complimentary about this state park that we should be going to. Lewis and Clark started their expedition from there.
Hundreds of thousands of people go there a year to see this place, and it's going to be quite interesting. But let's keep it a little simple this time. No crashing, no problems, no breakdowns, no running out of gas, no flat tires.
Yeah.
Don't blow the engine.
I can never guarantee that. That's mechanical.
Don't blow the engine.
Okay, there's one thing, though.
What's that?
I'm not wearing any hats today. I'm not doing
Oh,
hats.
after what happened with the
Yeah.
incident at Mr. Gilbert's farm?
I am
That's
not
a great
doing
idea.
hats.
So thanks to your crash, I get to take over your 2018 Ford F-150, and you get the hand-me-down of my 2018 Toyota Tundra.
This thing, though, I've wanted to drive it for a while because it's got a 5.7-litre lump in it. It's a V8, so this must have a lot more power than that 3.3.
It's got a lot more power, a lot more torque, and make sure you have your gas card ready. It drinks a lot of gas.
We haven't got a lot of time on our hands, so we should get on the road, I think.
Let's do it. So the F-150 feels like it's a pretty sturdy truck on the road, pretty strong. It does give you a mile per gallon and miles till you run out of gas. Even off-road tabs where you can go into certain buttons and see what your angle is, your G-forces are, and things like that. It's got quite a bit for a base truck.
I'm liking the Toyota Tundra, I have to say. This Toyota racing development package that's on this thing makes it feel a bit mean. It's got a 5.7-litre V8. It's relatively quick. We did do a bit of a power test, and I did pull away from him. And it didn't pull away a lot, so it wasn't as if there was tons more punch on the Toyota, but I like the roominess, the size of it. I quite like this Kentucky countryside. It's very rural. There's a lot of decent farms out here, lots of arable farms as well as cattle farms. I've even got some sheep, and they're my favorites.
Hey, Julian, see that fence on your right? Let's leave it on your right.
Very funny. My Toyota's not gonna let me go through it. This one does brick walls nowadays.
I think George would only be happy if Julian wasn't driving anything at all, because there's a good possibility of being in Kentucky that if something does happen, he'll be getting a phone call from us. George's best preference would be getting Julian out of the state of Kentucky.
So after yesterday's crash, people say, oh, you apprehensive, you're feeling scared. No, it happens. It's a part of the job.
So I got to drive the Tundra yesterday, and it was, neat to drive it. Seems like the Toyota has a little bit more acceleration than the Ford does, but it does have the V8 over the V6. Between the two, I prefer the Ford. I would take a truck like this, get the fancier package, definitely get a four-wheel drive, and maybe bump up the engine to the next size. You have to really put it in perspective. You look at about a $30,000 truck and what you're getting for that truck, and it's a hell of a truck.
After driving both trucks, I like Toyota, I'll be honest. Toyota's relatively new into this truck world. They're really stepping in a big way. This is made in Texas, but it's not in the big truck family quite yet. The Americans have definitely got the edge when it comes to this size of truck. But Toyota's, stepping up. I'm enjoying driving this.
First time to Kentucky. I've never been through the backwoods of Kentucky, and really, we spent, about 100 miles on the road here. A lot of scenery, a lot of neat things to look at, a lot of winding roads, which are always fun. So far, it's a pretty neat place.
Well, we actually made it to the falls at the Ohio State Park. I can't think of a better place to end our adventure than here.
I mean, this is the place where Lewis and Clark met for their great expedition.
I see this as a modern-day Lewis and Clark.
Sure, why not, Julian?
I'll tell you what, though, Jen is going to be totally cheesed off for not making this adventure. And I don't remember starting such an adventure off with a bang.
What are you calling a bang? You crashed a brand new F-150 into Mr. Gilbert's farm.
And he was so generous and so nice, he could have crucified me for that. But no, he just introduced me to George, his agent for the Kentucky Farm Bureau, who was perfect.
You do realize you totaled a brand new F-150.
I totaled it. I think I did anyway.
No,
He didn't give me the answer on it, but it looked as if the chassis was a bit bent.
Yeah, the truck was like this. It was bent.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we got it resolved, and we still got to play with tractors. But I still think you cheated. You had half the size of the meadow that I had.
There was no cheating. I just listened, and I know what 6 feet is, and you don't know what 6 feet is. That was the difference. I maximized my opportunity. I cut as much grass as I could on every road that I did.
We can't do anything about it now, so, you know, you got to win.
Look at the good news. My win and my skills in that tractor got us a great meal with Mrs. Gilbert.
They did get us a very good meal. She was fantastic, and that food, Southern cooking, was just unbelievable.
What a spread. The meal and my win made it all worth it.
At least we got to finish this fantastic adventure at this beautiful park.
Yes, it is. This is amazing.
And remember, it's not always about the destination,
It's how you get there. Maybe I'll let you drive the Ford this time.
Oh, great, thanks a lot. I won't put it into a tree this time or a fence.
Let's keep that front end looking pretty.
Well, and I've heard and I've read that it'll go through brick walls.
Let's not test that feature out.